What's up, y'all? Happy Friday, or at least it's Friday for me. I'm not sure when I release this video. Today I have an exciting video because it's going to help a ton of people out. I haven't really seen too many YouTube videos made on this, but it's how to win an Alibaba dispute and also how to set yourself up for success in winning an Alibaba dispute if you get screwed over by a manufacturer, because Alibaba can be sketchy. A lot of manufacturers can be kind of sketchy, and when you place an order through Alibaba, you are at risk for potential bad products. That's, something you're eventually going to have to deal with in business, is getting defective items, sometimes on a very small scale or sometimes on a large scale, and you want to set yourself up to be able to prove that items are defective and win a dispute if you need to make one. So for those of you who do not know, my name is Alex. I own a clothing brand called Vital Apparel. This is one of our new sample shirts. I'm pretty pumped about this. We're going through one more second round of samples because we want to make sure our stuff is absolutely perfect before we order them up and sell them to customers. As a business owner, a clothing brand, or whatever kind of business you are, if you're selling products to customers, you want your products to be perfect, especially when you're new. You kind of only have one shot. If you sell shitty products to a customer, they're super unlikely to come back to you, right? So you want to make sure the products are good and there's nothing wrong with them. So you want to make sure you first order samples from that manufacturer and make sure everything is perfect. So let's say we come up with a hoodie or a t-shirt idea, we come up with measurements, send them to China or to the manufacturer over there, and then have them make a sample and send it back to us. And typically it takes 2 to 3 rounds of sampling before we approve stuff. Sometimes it's faster now because we have a lot of designs made and our manufacturer is pretty good at making them exactly how we want it on the first and second try. So we don't run into too many issues with constantly having to order new samples. One thing too is samples through Alibaba can get expensive and add up quick, especially when you're a new clothing brand. If you're new to a manufacturer, they're gonna charge you a lot for samples, probably between $50 to $150 per sample with shipping. So like this shirt sample cost me $50 plus, I believe, $25 in shipping. So it wasn't cheap. Luckily, it turned out pretty good. We just had a couple things we wanted to change on it before we order them in bulk. And unfortunately, when you're getting samples, if they're not how you want them to be, you can't really dispute them because, again, it's a sample, it's the first mock-up. So if it sucks, you're kind of shit out of your $150. If you have a good manufacturer that you've been working with for a bit, like mine, you'll buy the initial sample, and if there needs to be revisions, they'll revise it and send me new samples for free because I've been doing business with them for so long. But don't expect that when you're a brand new clothing brand owner reaching out to a manufacturer for the first time. So anyways, what happens if you get samples made and they turn out good and you decide to make a bulk order and then the bulk order comes defective? I mean, bulk orders for us cost anywhere between $3,000 and $10,000 per bulk order. So there's been, I think, actually 4 instances over the last 4 years we've been in business where we've gotten defective products from a manufacturer. So, like, believe me when I say Alibaba can be sketchy and there's a lot of shady manufacturers out there. So you want to look at their review ratings and make sure they've, been in business for 5 or 10 years and they have good ratings and reviews before you even bother ordering samples from them. So let's get down to the point. I think this was about a year ago. We haven't had any issues with manufacturing defects because we have a couple very solid manufacturers that do a really good job on our products from us, and they're honest too. But our most recent dispute, roughly a year ago, was on an order of leggings, and I have the sample of leggings right here. And if you see, they look perfectly fine, right? I'm gonna turn my light on actually. Try to get some more light in here. So as you can see, they look perfectly fine like this, but if you stretch them out, check this out. There's a logo there's a logo behind the logo, right? There's a logo behind the logo. So what happened here, I probably look super awkward like this, is they accidentally printed our logo on the wrong side of the fabric and decided to fix that mistake, not by pulling it off or anything, but by just flipping the fabric inside out and putting our logo on the correct side. Here too, you can see here's the size tag. They did the same thing, and I have a pair of leggings that I actually cut open, and you can see for this one specifically, there's the size tag that's on the wrong side of the fabric, and so they stamped on the correct side, but they flipped it inside out. So now when a girl wears the leggings and she puts them on and they stretch a little, you can see the logo right through, and like, we can't sell that shit to customers, you know? We don't want people getting defective products. It's gonna ruin our reputation. And we've actually had it before where we got samples, we thought they were good, and then we actually ordered them in bulk, and we didn't test the other sizes. It was technically our fault, so we actually ate the loss on that because it was our fault. But in this case, we had ordered samples and these were not supposed to be like this. So we ended up going through the initial start of the dispute, which is called a trade assurance from Alibaba, which is basically them saying that they are ensuring you that if the products aren't made the way they're supposed to be, you'll get a refund, or they'll delegate between you and the manufacturer a fair deal or a refund or something like that. So anyways, we first started off by filing the trade assurance dispute, and Alibaba has hardly any customer service. They suck. They didn't do anything to help us get our money back. They tried getting the supplier to like refund us $1 per legging or something like that. Ridiculous. So what we did is we went to our credit card company, because what we do for orders is we buy all of our orders on a credit card, number one, because credit card companies let you dispute orders if items aren't made properly. Banks won't allow you to do that. If you order it through your bank, like buy it on your debit card, I'm like 95% sure you won't get your money back and the bank won't help you out, but the credit card company will. So basically what we did is we built a case up. We had all the documentation of the specifications of the leggings and proof that we sent to the bank, and then filed the dispute with that information. The bank gave Alibaba a chance to basically prove themselves innocent, and they weren't able to, so they sided with us, and they were able to literally pull the money from Alibaba and give it right back to us. And we actually kept the leggings too, because the manufacturer didn't want to pay to ship them back, but we still didn't sell them. I believe we donated all of them to like a women's shelter, the Goodwill or something like that, because the leggings technically were fine, but they were defective, and we can't sell them to the customers. So that's another thing that you want to do when you make an order. Document all of the specifications of your order and how it should be made, because then if the manufacturer screws up on them, you have proof to your credit card company that they didn't follow the instructions and that you had ordered samples and they came like this, but the bulk order came defective or with incorrect measurements. And if all of that adds up, you should easily get your money back. It does take quite a bit of time. It takes between 90 and 120 days to completely keep the money. The credit card company will actually give you a temporary credit, but if you were to for some reason lose it, they'll take the money back. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Again, use credit cards to make your purchase orders on Alibaba, because they'll be able to back you up on a dispute if Alibaba isn't willing to help.